Hi, I'm Rashonda. I'm the creator of this YouTube channel, as well as the artbyro.com website, where you can find loads of art and drawing tutorials. Again, that is artbyro.com. So be sure to check that out, but watch this video first, which is all about how to draw eyeballs. This is just a quirky little fun drawing. It's quick, it's easy. There's a lot of different things you can experiment with the colors, the background, have some fun with it. I always encourage everybody to relax, enjoy your creative process, and make sure you have fun along the way. So let's go on over to the art studio and get started on the tutorial. Today, I'm going to be drawing an eyeball. It's just a quick, fun little drawing. You can change up the colors. It doesn't have to be realistic necessarily. You can make up some colors. So today I'm going to be doing my eyeball with pink. So you can draw your circles freehand, or you could use one of these circle templates. And I want to make my eyeball so that it is taking up most of the paper, which I am using an artist trading card for mine. So I'm just gonna go around the edge there, make a nice straight circle. Again, you could do this freehand if you want. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use the circle template, if it's small enough, for the inside, and that's probably going to be too big. I don't think we want that to be that big, so let's go ahead and freehand the rest of it. So the hard thing with doing your circles, though, is that if you're somebody who stresses out about perfectionism and you want everything to look perfect, then you may not be happy with your drawing. So you're going to have to try to kind of get over that a little bit, or make sure you have templates similar to what I was using there. You can get them in different sizes, but just know that most likely your circles are not going to be perfect if you're drawing them freehand. So let's go ahead and go around that with the ink. As you can see, way less perfect than the other one, and that's okay. And then we'll do the pupil. Again, just trying to do the best that we can, freehanding it. And then going over it with the pen. And then we can go ahead and fill that in with the pen. And try to straighten it up a little bit if you need to. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do real quick is just get rid of the rest of those pencil lines. And then let's go ahead and add our colors. So what I do for my colors is I test them out on a little scrap piece of paper first. This is just a little bit of extra cardstock that's left over from when I cut out my artist trading cards. So what I do for my artist trading cards is I take a sheet of heavy cardstock and I can cut them into the artist trading cards. I can get 10 out of one sheet of paper, and then I use a little paper punch to round off the corners. You can leave them squared off if you want. I like mine rounded. And then I have stacks of these blank cards that whenever I want to do a drawing, I just grab one, I'm ready to go. So I usually cut at least one or two of these out every week at the beginning of the week or on the weekend. That gets me ready to go for the week. So if I want to do some drawings, I can. I'm ready to go. And then what I like to do is just add a little bit of a darker color to make it look a little bit more interesting, and then use that lighter color to blend that in a little bit. So the next thing I want to do on this is to add some gray, and I'm just going to do the gray right along the outside edge. This is mostly just to break up that white area here, so it's not, there's not so much white. And as you can see, I'm using different brands of marker. This one's a Prismacolor, the other ones were just plain old Bic markers. And I want to find my lighter gray, this one here. And then I'll use, so this one is a 30% gray, this is a 20%. And I will use that to soften this up a little bit. It's a little bit darker than what I really wanted to go, but it'll be okay. So I like to encourage everybody to keep your creative time as stress-free as possible, not worrying about little imperfections or mistakes, but just to have fun and enjoy it. Artwork, creating artwork, in my mind, should be relaxing, especially if you're not making a living at it. Then I don't see the point in stressing out over it. Whatever you do is just for fun. I create my artwork for fun, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So now we're gonna make this maybe a little more creepy, I guess, by putting some veins in here. And I'm keeping mine pink with my pink theme that I have going on here. You want to make sure two things. You want your lines to be kind of wavy. And also you want to vary the kind of pattern or design that you're doing your lines. You don't want them to be all uniform. Make some longer, some shorter. You don't want to create an actual pattern with it. So we're just going to go around the outside. And you can spread them out a little bit more if you want. You could put them closer together. Just do whatever you think looks good. It's one of the things I love about doing the artist trading cards, is that it's great for experimenting and trying different things and playing around with ideas you might have, practicing, seeing what looks good, what doesn't. So now let's go ahead and do a background on this guy. So I'm thinking about doing green for the background, but maybe, so it's not just floating on the paper, maybe let's go ahead and add some gray down here too. Just make a little bit of a shadow. And then we can fill in the rest of the background with green. So as far as the markers go, I don't love the Prismacolor markers. This was one of the first sets I bought back when I very first started playing around with markers. I didn't really know what I was doing. It started when I was doing a graffiti lesson with my 8th grade students. I was trying to find something that they could connect with and feel inspired to do, so we did a series on graffiti art, which ended up being a big hit. They loved it. It was fun. And I started playing around with some markers, and I got the Prismacolor set, and then I started adding some other stuff. I started playing around with the Bic markers. And it turns out there's things I like and things I don't like about each one. And one of the things I don't like about the Bic markers, or the Prismacolor markers, is that the tips are so big and bulky, and then the tip on the other side is super thin and kind of useless, which I think they've redesigned that other end of it. I got some newer Prismacolor markers that have a different tip on the small end. But anyway, all this to say, if you are just starting out with markers and you're not sure what to get, you're probably going to have to figure that out on your own and just try some different things. I really like the Bic markers. The thing I don't like about them, and these I literally just bought at Kroger, at the local grocery store. But the problem is you have to buy them in a big set. And when you run out of one color, you have to go out and buy another complete set just to get that one color. And not only is that a waste of money, but then you have all these extra markers that who knows if you'll ever use or not. So again, with the background, I'm doing the lighter color and then doing the darker color over top, and then using the lighter color to soften up the edge. And then I'll do the same thing over here. Just to add a little bit of extra color in here. Now, one thing about the markers, and these are new, so it's even more prominent, is that when you layer your markers, it's going to change the color. So even though this is the same marker that I used for this background, once you put more of the same marker over top, it's going to darken it. So if you want that to be smoother, you might have to go over top of the whole thing. And you could do the dark color first and then do the light color. I typically do the lighter color first just so I can see how much of the darker color I want, because obviously you can't take away, but you can add. So I like to see what I'm doing and how it's going to look, but either way is fine. It's just a matter of personal preference. Okay, so we got the background done, and then I'm going to use a white colored pencil, and I'm going to add a little bit of white to the pink area here. And then I'm also going to add white with a Jelly Roll pen. This goes really nicely over top of marker. We'll make some nice bright highlights there. And then I'm going to go ahead and call this finished. So it's just a quick, fun little eyeball drawing. You could play around with the different colors, different backgrounds, maybe put some wings on it, do some different things with it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you feel inspired to start creating some of your own artwork. And I will see you next time. Happy creating! Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you felt inspired to create some of your own artwork. If you did feel inspired, if you did create some artwork, let me know about it in the comments. I love to hear from people. And also, before you go, check out the description box. There's some information in there about some freebies, our Facebook group, as well as that artbyro.com website. You can find a link in there as well. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!